Drivers, start your engines. Welcome to the half-decent Racing League! Hey! We ain't the best, but we ain't last. Set up from Red, hope they're fast. Miss the apex, but still talk trash. Totally planned it, yeah, hit the gas. Paint scheme's clean, the lines are not. Cold tires, yeah, we forgot. 3 wide racing, bad idea. Still send it anyway, no fear. We're side draft kings till we spin. Blame net code every time we don't win. We're half decent, loud and proud. Not quite legends, but we're running this crowd from green to checkers. Yeah, we send it hard, just good enough to tear up your car. Half decent, that's our name. Somewhere between has been and fame. Checkered flag or caution light. We're bringing chaos every night. Right rear hook, he turned me, bro. Replay says, yeah, that's a no. Missed your break, just call it bold. Track tightened up, story sold. Lap cars fight like it's the lead. Every restart turns to greed. Spotters screaming, hold your line. Too late, buddy, we're 4 wide. We talk like pros in the chat, then chunk it all in turn 1 flat. We're half decent, loud and proud. Not quite legends, but we're running this crowd from green to checkers. Yeah, we send it hard, just good enough to tear up your car. Half decent, that's our name. Somewhere between has been and fame. Checkered flag or caution light. We're bringing chaos every night. Net code, wasn't me. Net code, well, that was just latency. Nice fight, save my pride. Yeah, you drove it in too wide. We ain't pros, but we ain't done. We chase that win like it's Daytona. Every week we show back up. Half decent, but that's enough. We're half decent. Hear the roar, not quite perfect, but we're back for more. Rubbing fenders, crossing lines, living fast in these sim race lines. Half decent, on the fight. Little rough, but we're alright. Win or lose, we light up the track, and you know we will be back. Half decent, full throttle. See you next week, if your rig survives.
Welcome to another Friday night with a half-decent Racing League. My name is Chris Murphy here with DRSN. Thank you for joining with us. We are about 2 minutes left to go in practice here with the Xfinity cars at Iowa. Last race out, it was Jesse Singleton bringing home the win at Indianapolis, his 6th win of the season. As we're getting rolling here, we'll take a look at our current point standings coming into round number 24. Matt Dickerson right now at 11:53, 189 points behind him is his Vortec Motorsports teammate Cliff Adams. Jesse Singleton, last week's winner, sitting in the top 3. There's Jacob Barker, Aiden O'Neill, Zachary Steele, Shane Williams, Charlie Bowling, Colton Gardner rolled out the top 10. And then back to the cut line for the chase. It's Justin Kruger in 11th. Todd Rush only 2 points to the good in front of Brendan McEwen. Brendan is here with us tonight. Connor Hughes, Cody Zerhoff, Mark Osher, Dylan McLean, Hunter Hughes, Matthew Hobbs, and Chris Farmer round out our top 20 in the current standings. 14 drivers here set to take on the 7/8 mile racetrack here at Iowa. A little bit different layout than what you'd normally see in a lot of kind of a different length. You see a lot of half miles, 3/4 miles, 1 mile, mile and a half tracks, but 7/8 of a mile. Different shape and configuration here for Iowa Speedway, but the Xfinity car is looking to run strong here tonight. We're going to run 3 stages. First stage will be at lap 50. Second at lap 100. Then we'll run the full third stage, the remaining 100 laps up to 200. I see we got Bully Dog Coffee up there in the chat once again. Thanks for jumping in. Matt Dickerson, you see him on the racetrack right here. We talked to Matt early in the race, talking about how slippery the track was getting as it was starting to warm up out there. And you can see right there as Matt spins it around there off of turn number 2. Look more intentionally right there. Looked like he was just kind of goofing around. But track looking to slick up. We're going to start in the late afternoon. We'll finish the race into the dark. So with the race going into the cooler part of the evening, we should see some track conditions change during that last stage. Tire management is going to be key here. We won't see fuel mileage really come into play for the first couple of stages, but tire management definitely. You'll see drivers leaning on that right front heavily. Who can keep the tires up underneath them? Who can have the longest run? We saw Jesse Singleton being the master of that at Indianapolis last week. And just about everybody we're looking at, you see that bump down there getting into the corner 1. Gets the car a little upset there, and you can see right there Jesse here in practice getting a little loose off of 2 as well. But we got 8 seconds left to go in practice. We'll get right into qualifying. 2 laps of qualifying for every driver. It'll be a closed session, so we're gonna see who can sit on the pole tonight here at Iowa. Strong field of cars here with us. It is going to be an exciting night of action. All right, qualifying underway. We've got 10 minutes to go in qualifying. Each driver gets 2 laps out on the speedway. We've got a new feature to bring on board here. Once we get drivers out onto the racetrack, we used this for an open qualifying race the other night for some 410 sprint cars. We'll see how this works out here with the Xfinity cars on the closed session. John Fuse up in the chat. Thanks, John. Thanks for being here. Rooting on Connor. Rooting on the Blue Ridge Racing boys. All right, we got Connor out here on the racetrack right now. Matt Dickerson as well. Wesley Fuse. Let's see who can come across the line. See who's going to set the target time. Let's see. First driver across the line for a lap. My guess is probably going to be the 5 of Charlie Bowling. As looks like he's going to make his way down. It looks like he might have put some damage on that right front out there on his warm-up lap, so he's going to come down and get some repairs. Try to get back out onto the racetrack, get another lap in. Connor Fuse across the line at 24.6. Todd Russ going to take that right away from him. Here goes Matt Dickerson. Matt Dickerson at 24.414. Kruger now to the top of the timing and scoring at a 24.404. Wesley Fuse now going to come off of turn number 4. Let's see what Wesley can put up on the board. His first lap across the line. 24.829 is going to put him down into 5th. Colton Gardner looks to be the next driver to come across, put a lap in. As you see Dickerson faster on his second lap at a 23.985. Gardner across the stripe. He'll go up to second at a 24.169. A good lap for Colton Gardner. Dickerson on the pole right now. Jacob Barker in the 12. Looking to get a lap in. Jacob across the stripe for his first lap. Up to third, 24.328. Gardner's going to come across for his second lap a little quicker at a 24.133. Charlie Bowling's able to get back on the racetrack and get a lap in, and he's going to move himself up into third at a 24.153. But right now, the only driver in the 23s is Matt Dickerson, as his teammate Cliff Adams comes across the line for his first lap down in 10th at a 24.869. Brendan McHugh also out on the speedway. Let's keep an eye here on Cliff and the DRSN. Since he put that new livery, the DRSN sponsorship, he's been first and second, so up on the podium both nights. Let's see how Cliff's going to qualify here. Second lap across. He is going to improve, but not as much as Cliff. I'm sure Cliff was hoping for it. A 24.569 is going to put him up to 7th. Brendan McHugh, the third Vortec Motorsports driver on the racetrack, will come across the line in 5th at a 24.331. We got 7 minutes left to go. We've got 3 drivers that have not made their way out onto the speedway. So we're going to keep an eye here on Brendan on his second lap. Cross the line for Brendan McHugh. Not seeing a second lap recorded. He may have made contact with the outside wall, negated that lap. So here we got the 51 of Jesse Singleton out on the racetrack. Did Jesse knock Matt Dickerson off the pole, off the provisional pole right now? Benedict Ringer in the 83, the Denver Broncos sponsor, number 83, also out on the speedway. Mark Osher, the only driver not to at least make his way out of the pits yet. So it looks like just about every driver faster on their second lap, except for the drivers that only got one lap in, including Bowling, Barker, and McHugh. Singleton's first lap puts him up into fourth at a 24.253, one of the fastest laps we've seen on his first lap out. Can he improve here on lap number 2? Singleton across the stripe. We got loose right at the start-finish line. Did not get a second lap in. That negated his lap right there as he made contact with the wall right at the start-finish line. Benedict Ringer, the only driver left to try to knock Matt Dickerson off of that top spot. Second lap across at a 24.435. Ringer can only muster up an 8th place finish here in qualifying. Only Mark Osher has not made his way onto the racetrack. We see Mark not qualify often. Would not be surprised if Mark does not make it out onto the speedway. As we got about 5 minutes left to go here in qualifying. Matt Dickerson looking to claim another pole on the season. And it looks like we are going to jump forward in time. We time travel here in iRacing in the sim. And we are going to go right to our lineup. As you can see, drivers right now making their way down to pit road. So Mark Osher did not get a lap in. Not out of the normal for Mark. All right, Matt Dickerson on the pole. Let's get right to our starting lineup here. We don't want to miss it. We tend to start too late sometimes and miss the whole lineup, so we're going to get right into it here. On the pole, the Vortex Motorsports number 44. Here for 200 laps of action at Iowa Speedway. It's Matt Dickerson to his outside. Great qualifying effort there from Colton Gardner. The Blue Ridge Racing number 41. He will start second. Back to row number 2. CZ Motorsports driver, the number 5 of Charlie Bowling, will start inside. Row number 2 in third to his outside. It is a Street Revolution Motorsports driver of the 51, Jesse Singleton. Back to row number 3. Jacob Barker in the number 12, Blue Ridge Racing. And starting in 6th, it's going to be Brendan McHugh in the 32. In the 4th row, we've got a pair of Timu Joe Gibbs drivers, the 29 of Justin Kruger and the 83 of Benedict Ringer. Back to row number 5, starting in the 9th spot. And I better hurry through this. Todd Rushton, the 55, and Cliff Adams will start to his outside in 10th. Back to row number 6, starting 11th is Connor Fuse. And the CZ Motorsports, number 88 of Zach Steele. Final row, Wesley Fuse in the 68, and the pace cone car is not really there. So we're going to get green flag underway. Matt Dickerson. Oh, looks like we're going to go around another lap. So I didn't really have to rush that, did I? I'm going to around one more lap. So Mark Osher will tag the field. Corey Bodeno, just the choose cone car out there on the racetrack. All right, we're going to go green this time around. First stage will be at lap 50. We go green for this first 50 laps. Do not expect any pit stops, or at least no reason to have to pit for fuel. Being told fuel mileage somewhere around about 80 to 86 laps. We're off at turn number 4. iRacing pace track pulls in. We're going to be green flag in the air. Matt Dickerson to the line. Green flag here at Iowa. Dickerson. Bowen's going to follow suit on the bottom of the racetrack, and they'll leave Gardner on the outside. That bottom line looks a little dominant. Gardner clips the outside wall. Jesse Singleton has to get out of the throttle, keep from running in the back of the 41. Down on the bottom, we see the 12 with Jacob Barker trying to stick a nose up underneath the 51, but here comes Kruger to the outside. Kruger able to make that outside work off of turn number 4 as he makes his way around Barker there for the 5th spot. As we complete lap number 1, your leader, Matt Dickerson, all over the back of him right now. It is Charlie Bowling. Charlie closing in on the back of the 44. Charlie gets a good run through the center of the corner. Matt's able to drive off a little better. Create a little bit of distance there as they make their way across the line to complete lap number 2. Side by side here for 5th and 6th. It looks like Barker on the bottom, or 6th and 7th after McHugh on the outside. McHugh is going to get around Barker. That is about the second time now Barker's been passed by somebody on the outside. And here comes Singleton now. Last race winner at Indianapolis. Singleton gets loose off the corner right there. He's able to hang on to it. He is going to get around Gardner. Gardner's going to lose a couple of spots. Up front, though, Bowling up on the outside, challenging Matt Dickerson for the lead. Bowling's going to move up into the lead here on lap number 4. Charlie Bowling with a move around Matt Dickerson's able to get up to the front. He will lead a lap here at Iowa. Charlie running just a little bit different line up the hill. You can see him a little bit higher up the hill on the racetrack. Dickerson down to the bottom. Looks like it worked to his advantage, but here comes the 51 of Jesse Singleton. Jesse has been quick every week, no matter what racetrack we've been at, and he is coming to the front. Started in 4th. He's already made up a spot to 3rd, and he is chasing down the 44 of Dickerson. Justin Kruger right there in the 29. He has now moved up to 4th, and he is also looking to get into the battle for the lead. Shaping up to about 4-car battle here in just a couple of laps. They're all, you can see Dickerson, Singleton, and Kruger all closing in on the back of Charlie Bowling. And we are nose to tail on the bottom of the racetrack off of turn number 4. Singleton with a little wiggle right there again. I mean, if he's already wiggling right now, those tires getting hot early on. We're only 7 laps into this run. How are they going to be after 50? Take a look a little further back. We'll keep an eye on this battle up front. Here's Colton Gardner, started outside the front rows, now falling back to 8th. He is sandwiched between Benedict Ringer and Cliff Adams. Back to the front. Bowling pushes up the racetrack, opens up the bottom to Dickerson. Allows him to get a good run off of turn number 2. Drives the car down the hill, keeps the momentum down the back straightaway. Takes about a 7 or 8 car length lead into the 3. And here goes Jesse Singleton up on the outside of the 44 for 2nd. Singleton will get around Matt Dickerson at the line. He will take that 2nd spot away. Can he get back down to the bottom? He will. He will clear Matt Dickerson coming off of turn number 2. He sets his sights on the number 5 of Charlie Bowling. Singleton now to 2nd. Jesse only knows one place to be, and that is out in front. And he is closing in on our leader, Charlie Bowling. And right now, the fastest car on the racetrack is the 51. And you can see right there the gap, just a little over a 1/10 of a second, and he is right there. Take a look back from the leader, the 5 of Charlie Bowling, back to the 51. Singleton takes a look to the inside. Charlie doing a good job right here. He's got about 4 car lengths. Charlie has been hungry for a win all season long. We've seen good runs out of this, but something always seems to happen to the 5. He gets involved in something. usually not of his doing, but right now he is out in front of this thing, but he has got one of the hottest drivers in the half-decent racing league all over his back bumper. And Jesse Singleton, and Jesse is coming in a hurry, and he is going to be relentless. He is going to keep that pressure on the back of the 5. So Bowling, Singleton, Dickerson, Kruger. That is your top 4. Then it's a little ways back to the 32 of McHugh. And McHugh has got some clean air. Let's see if he can reel in our top 4. Jesse Singleton closing in. He is still right there. He is filling up the mirror of Charlie Bowen. No pressure, just relentless right now. All over the back bumper of the 5. And Charlie, hang on. So we are saying, we're setting up in chat that Colton's saving his tires. So we're going to see what happens here to the 70. Drop back. Let's see if he comes charging up at the end of this run. As we're 17, 16 laps into this 50-lap stage. All right, watch the 51 of Singleton. He is now closing in on the back of Bowling there off of turn number 4 across the stripe. Just biding his time right now, and that's allowing Dickerson to close in a little bit. He's about 4 or 5 car lengths back. Singleton takes a peek to the outside off of 2. Down the back straightaway. He's got the outside position. Bowling has to keep the car down on the bottom. Does not allow himself to open up the wheel. That is going to pinch the car, kill his momentum. And here comes Singleton off of 4. On the outside of the 5. Across the stripe. It looks like we might have a new leader. No, looks like Bowling's going to drive race him to the line. Bowling's going to lead that lap. But Singleton has the line into 1 and 2. Side by side off of turn number 2. Jesse Singleton, Charlie Bowling. Bowling not able to get off of 2 nearly as well as Singleton. Singleton takes the lead into turn number 3. We have our 3rd leader of the race. And here comes Matt Dickerson. Matt Dickerson also going to find his way around Bowling. Goes down to the bottom of the racetrack. Bowling pushes up the hill. Kruger also takes a look underneath the 5. If Charlie uses tires up too early, we'll see how this plays out for him. He is now closed back up on the back of Dickerson. This is the battle for 2nd. Charlie loose off the corner right there, able to save it. Just about lost the back of the car off of turn number 4. Kruger was fortunately not close enough to get into the back of him. Got out of the throttle and let Charlie get it straightened out. But a little ways back, you can see this other group of cars starting to make up some ground. Let's take a look here at the last 4 or 5 laps between Brendan McHugh and Justin Kruger. And they're in red, but they're actually green. So gaining almost a full tenth of a second per lap is Brendan McHugh on the car in front of McHugh. And here comes Ringer now. Ringer down to the inside of McHugh. This is for 5th. So Charlie Bowling gets loose again off the corner. Once again, able to get it back under control. Kruger not able to capitalize, has to get out of the throttle, settles back in. So we've about ready to have a 5-car battle here for this 3rd, 4th, and 5th spot here. As Dickerson has gotten away from Charlie Bowling. Kruger now right behind the 5 of Charlie Bowling. Charlie's gotten loose a couple of times off of turn number 4. And here he's again loose off of turn number 2. Charlie is really fighting this car off the corner. He's used up the right rear tire of this car, and you can just see him just about every corner comes up on the outside of the racetrack, loses the back of the car. So let's see if we got 26, 27 laps left to go here to complete stage number 1. My expectation, we've seen Charlie do this a lot. He will short pit before the stage. And here comes Kruger now to the inside for 3rd. Dickerson's now starting to reel in Singleton. But he is about half a tenth of a second back right now, so we'll see if Matt Dickerson can find something. A little further back here is the battle of McCruger once again trying to get any Charlie Bolin. McHugh in 5th. Ringer. Gardner now has worked his way back up into 7th. Right behind him is Cliff Adams. So we are about to have what we would call a Charlie Bolin train. Everybody stacked up behind the 5 car. Kruger takes a look down to the bottom. Right behind him, McHugh and Ringer side by side. Ringer off the top of turn number 2. Let's see if he tries to cross over McHugh down the back straightaway. Not able to get enough momentum, and here comes Gardner down to the bottom. Brendan McHugh's been really good all season long on tires, but right now he is going to give up this spot to Ringer. Ringer goes around the outside of the 32 into turn number 1. He will take the 5th spot away momentarily. Here comes McHugh back down to the bottom. And they are drag racing down the back straightaway. Ringer, McHugh, Kruger pushes up the racetrack. They're going to look like they're going to make it 3 wide off of turn number 4. Ringer thinks the best of it, backs out of it. Has to turn the car down the hill to keep him from getting into the left rear quarter. Kruger does a nice job of saving it right there. I thought he was going to put it down to the grass, and here comes Gardner. So Gardner, in the moment of about a half a lap, Kruger has lost 3 spots now, as McHugh, Ringer, and Gardner have all gotten around him. And the next car in line looks to be Cliff Adams, and here comes Jacob Barker in the 12. So Barker looking to get around. He has gotten around Kruger. He's now looking to the outside of Adams for 7th. Up front, it is still Jesse Singleton, Matt Dickerson, Charlie Bolin hanging on to 3rd with a loose race car. As we start lap number 30. Biggest mover of the race is Jesse Singleton, up 3 spots, started back in 4th. Also up 3 spots is Benedict Ringer after starting in 8th. He's up to 5th. Ringer once again to the outside of McHugh. Not a lot of space out there, but Brendan kept the car down on the bottom, gave Ringer a car width up there. Here comes the 83. Great race right here for the top 5. Gardner's going to stick a nose in there as well. And McHugh just has to hold the car down on the bottom of the racetrack, not able to carry the momentum off the corner. And that's going to cost him right here. Ringer able to drive by as they come across the line to start lap number 32. Ringer will now go to 4th. And as we were looking at that, Matt Dickerson was able to get around Jesse Singleton for the lead. So the 44, Matt Dickerson back out in front. See if we can take a quick look at that pass for the lead here. Matt setting him up on the outside, able to cross over. Gets a run down the back straightaway into turn number 3. A great move there from Matt Dickerson. He will once again be out in front of this race at Iowa on lap 33. And Benedict Ringer has now reeled in Charlie Bolin. Charlie is about to have a bunch of company. He's been alone there in 3rd for the last few laps, but look behind him. He has got a hornet's nest. Here comes Ringer, Gardner, and McHugh. All wanting to get into that last podium spot, up into 3rd. Gardner and Ringer side by side. Colton saved his tires a little bit early is what we were told in the YouTube chat. But he has looked like he's turned it on here late in this stage. We've got 15 laps left to go here in stage number 1. McHugh way up on the outside. Now, I don't know if you watch Flow Racing. I've been waiting to get Brendan in the race so I can call him Brendan. It's Brendan McHugh is what, isn't that how they say is Brandon Shepard, whatever. I messed that one up. That's all right. And here comes Ringer. Ringer now to the outside of Bolin. Bolin sees him. He has to keep the car down on the bottom of the racetrack off of turn number 4 across the line. The 83 now to 3rd. Bolin fights back on the bottom. And we are 2 by 2. Noah's Ark style here. It's Bolin, Ringer, McHugh right there behind him as well. Here comes Gardner. McHugh now to the inside of Bowling here. Going to move him down to 5th. Colton Gardner and Cliff Adams also joining the party. Up front, though, Matt Dickerson and Jesse Singleton have checked out. So the battle on the racetrack is right here for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. McHugh once again tries to get by Charlie Bowling for 4th. Ringer has cleared this group. He's up to 3rd. He's about a tenth of a full second out in front of this group. And you can see Bowling loose again off the corner. Fortunately, McHugh was not close enough, because as Charlie came down the racetrack, just about caught the right front corner of the 32. One of the better races we've seen in quite a while here at Iowa. Side by side, close action right now. Ringer's got separated out into 3rd, but right now we've got 5 cars fighting for 4th. Bowling, Gardner, McHugh, Adams, and Barker all right there together on the racetrack. All right, looks like Brendan's going to try the outside this time. Goes around Gardner on the outside, looking to find a way to get up alongside of the Hendricks.com number 5 CZ Motorsports of Charlie Bowling. Just can't quite get close enough. Charlie's done a good job of hanging onto that car. He has definitely been the loosest car on the racetrack from the ones we've been looking at. It's been such a battle right here. We've not peeked around a lot at the rest of the competition, but back to the lead right here. Matt Dickerson now about a half a second, 0.6 of a second out to the good. As he starts to find a way around, see if he can put some separation between himself and Jesse Singleton. All right, take a look a little further back. McHugh has now found a way around Charlie Bowling. Actually, Charlie fell back to 8. He's going to get loose again right there. Watch the 5. Can he hang on to it? Going to slide down across the grass. Charlie's been fighting after about the last 10 to 12 laps. Going to gather it back up and not make any contact. Let's see if we can see what happened here to Charlie, because he dropped back from about 3rd to 8th in a hurry as we were looking up front. So watch the 5 of Charlie Bowling right here. McHugh's going to get by him down on the inside. This was just a lap ago. So McHugh gets by him, then Colton gets by him, and Charlie's way up in the marbles. And that is going to let Cliff Adams and Barker all get by. So that's where Charlie lost all those spots, and then just about a lap, half a lap after that, drives the car down across the grass. So one of our early race leaders now all the way down to 10th. As we take a look at Matt Dickerson, we are on lap 44. 7 laps left to go here in stage number 1, and Matt is now almost 1.7 seconds out in front of Jesse Singleton. Benedict Ringer back here in the 3rd spot. Let's take a look here between Ringer and Singleton. Let's just take a look at the last 5 laps here, and it looks like on the average, Benedict Ringer's been gaining about almost 3 full tenths of a second per lap on Jesse Singleton. And you can see the eyeball test right there is about 10 to 12 car lengths. Battle here with Colton Gardner and Brendan McHugh, and off track again for Charlie Bowling. Down in the grass once again. Looks like that right front might be a little... Looks like it's got a lot of camber in it. I'm not sure if that's the setup on the car or not, but Charlie once again was struggling here. He's been off track the last couple times off of turn number 4. He's lost a lot of ground right here. I don't think he really wants to short pit the stage, but we'll see, because he's definitely going to lose a lap if he does that at this point. Maybe even 2, so we're going to keep an eye on that. So across the line here to start lap 48. 3 laps left to go. McHugh and Gardner now side by side for 4th. Barker right there with him. Cliff Adams lurking in the background. McHugh has been quick, and he's going to get a little bit loose right there. He has to go back up. He's going to fall back in line behind the 41. Barker right there with him. Let's see if we can find some action a little further back. We see Wesley Fuse here in the 12. He has got Todd Rush, CZ Motorsports driver number 55 right there in front of him in the 11th. This 11th, 12th, and 13th with Charlie Bowling. And Charlie pushing up the hill again, so he is really struggling with that car right now. He is just praying for this caution to come out, and Barker's going to get loose right there. We talked to a few drivers before this race, and they were all talking about just how slippery this setup was off the corners. And we have seen drivers struggle with it. I've not seen our top 3 or 4 have too many issues with it, as Ringer has made his way around Singleton. The lap car, Mark Osher, right here in the mix. And it looks like Mark might have pitted here about 5 laps ago. We're going to come across the line to complete stage number 1. Caution flag will fly. Stage 1 is completed. Matt Dickerson will bring home the stage points. Benedict Ringer will come in 2nd. Jesse Singleton 3rd. Colton Gardner in 4th. Brendan McHugh, Jacob Barker, Cliff Adams, Justin Kruger, and then Zach Steele and Connor Fuse rounding out our top 10. And that 50 laps went by in a hurry. 50 green flag laps here at Iowa. Immediately, everybody's going to dive down pit road. So we're going to step away, take a break. Right now, we have 150 laps of action still left to come here for the Half Decent Racing League at Iowa. Round number 23. Matt Dickerson out in front. Benedict Ringer, Jesse Singleton, Brendan McHugh, Colton Gardner. Round out your top 5. We're going to be right back.
You asked for more, so we built more. Every overlay done. Cleaner, faster, built for racers, and built for streamers. But that was just the warm-up. Introducing the AI Chief Streamer Engine, a full broadcast-style control tower built right into Chief. One unified chat window. TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. Every message all in one place. Someone drops a gift, Chief tells you. Front row Joey dropped the DJ spin. This is a race car, not a charity, but we'll take your money anyway. New follower? Chief tells you. Raid, member, super chat? Chief's already on it. Too busy battling for the lead to read chat? Don't worry, I'll read it for you. Signature Esports says, I know I said something about it on stream, but it would be cool to use Chief to be a pit reporter. This isn't another overlay package. This is your production crew. AI Chief Pro Plus. Coming soon.
The Collateral Damage Sports Network overlays can take your broadcast to the next level. Whether you want to kick off the show with our all-new infographics or wrap it up with our Race Results 2.0 with podium and superlatives. In the race, dive in to see who got on and off pit road the fastest, and then use our head-to-head plug-in package to know exactly when your driver will catch the leader. For your onboard cameras, you've got to have the tower telemetry. Then for the rest of your broadcast, keep up with all the action with alerts for penalties, off-tracks, and other events, stage break grids, alternative leaderboards, special event plugins like the Indy 500 qualifying, and a ton more to keep up with all your favorite drivers from start to finish, from country to country, and pull your standings directly from SimRacer Hub. Join all of our elite broadcasting partners and find your next broadcast upgrade at CollateralDamageSportsNetwork.com.
We are back live here at Iowa. My name is Chris Murphy here with DRSN. Thank you so much for spending your Friday night with us. We see you out there in the chat. Thanks for getting involved. Looks like we're going to go green this time around. Matt Dickerson, Ringer, McHugh, Barker, Jesse Singleton looked at an incident in the pits of some kind. He is fallen. I do not see any kind of black flag or anything. But we don't always get all the information, so Jesse falling all the way back. You know, the one thing we haven't taken a look at, but we are green flag racing here one more time as I was trying to find out what happened to Jesse, but Dickerson brings us to the stripe. Green flag in the air once again. here on lap number 55. McHugh's now up to second. It is 1, 2, 3 for Vortex Motorsports. Dickerson, McHugh, and Adam Steele now up to fourth for ZZ Motorsports. A good run here for Zach Steele. He's got himself into the top 5. And here comes Charlie Bowling back up into 5th. A good pit stop here from the 88 and the 5. They get themselves into the top 5. Ringer, who was in second at the time at the end of stage number 1. He has now found himself back here in 7th, and he has got pressure from Kruger on the bottom. Barker also looking to follow Justin Kruger by the 83 of Benedict Ringer. Let's see if the 32 of Brendan McHugh has anything for Matt Dickerson right now. He's about a car length back. You can see him closing in as they head into turn number 3. Matt's able to keep the car right down on the white line. Top 4 breaking away just a little bit. Zach Steele got himself up into 4th after starting back in 12th. And looks like we got Jesse Singleton's going to turn around off of turn number 4. First caution of the night. The 51 of Jesse Singleton, one of our race leaders early, finds himself in some trouble right here off of turn number 4. I don't see a lot of damage on the car. Well, let's see if we can see what happened to Jesse. He's got Wesley Fuse right there behind him. And it looks like there might have been a little contact there. Not the best camera angle for that. So we'll just back that up here again real quick. So Wesley Fuse right there behind Jesse. It looks like Connor gets a little loose in front of him. Jesse checks up just a little bit, and Wesley gives him a little short shot right there in the shorts. And around goes Singleton. Fortunately, not able to, did not take a lot of damage. Maybe a little damage on that back bumper from the contact with the 68, but it looks like he's going to be able to drive away from this. We're going to have our first caution of the night. One thing we haven't taken advantage of, radio replay. If you do broadcasting or streaming or anything, radio replay is a fantastic tool. Let's just capture all the in-game chat, and we've been watching this right now. We haven't found a lot to play back yet, but we will find you something. All right, so we're going to get, sorry, I was trying to read something there, but we're going to get back here to action. Our first caution for incident here involving the 68, excuse me, the 58 of Wesley, 68 on the race car, 58 on my timing and scoring. That was confusing me, and Jesse Singleton. Jesse's going to take this advantage of this, come down pit road, maybe get some repairs done. All right, 50, where we at? Lap 61. We'll go to stage 100 for stage number 2, and then we'll have 100 laps of action after that. As we are under caution. It says caution number 2. First caution was for the stage, so first caution for incident here. The Singleton getting another set of tires on the 51. Let's see what Jesse can do. If he can make his way back here from 14th back to the front. Let's take a look at our lap leaders here so far of the night. Matt Dickerson's led 32. Charlie Bowling with 15. Singleton's led 13. 3 different leaders, our biggest gainers of the race. Zachary Steele up 8. Cliff up 7. Brendan McHugh, Wesley Fuse, and Mark Osher all up a few spots. Got another new tool here we're going to take a quick look at, see how it's playing out. So you can see right here, Matt Dickerson started in first, currently running in first, fell all the way back to 31 points. He's led 33 laps of this race, and you can see his the chart of positions. He's not really been out of third, the top 3 spots so far. A lot of these new tools brought to you by my good buddy Shane Cochran over at CDSN, Collateral Damage Sports Network. If you're looking for some of these overlays, you can find him at collateraldamagesportsnetwork.com. And we are going to go racing here once again as we roll down the back straightaway. The lights are out on the iRacing pace truck. All right. Corey Bodeno pulling the choose cone car down on the pit road. He's going to do some donuts down there for us. And we're going to go back to racing. Now we're going to go around one more time. All right, one more lap around. I could have swore I saw the lights out on the pace track. So it looks like, from what I'm seeing, so the choose cone car of Corey Bodeno spinning out down into the pit road down there actually kept the caution out for another lap. So lesson learned on that one, it looks like. Let's see what's. So this is our first chance to really play something here. We'll see what Corey has to say here.
Someone's supposed to yell at me when it doesn't stay 1 to green.
All right, so that's what the radio replay does for you. We'll find some interesting stuff to play for you throughout the night, but right now, looking for the pace truck to pull in. We're going to go green this time off of turn number 4 is Matt Dickerson and Cliff Adams bringing us to the line. Brendan McHugh, Vortex Motorsports 1, 2, 3. Down on turn number 1, Matt Dickerson down on the bottom of the racetrack. Adams up on the outside. He's got Charlie Bowen in the 5 right there with him. McHugh down on the bottom in the 32. Steele, they're all right here together. There's Steele, the 29 of Kruger, Barker, and Ringer. Adams now to second, but here comes Bowen back up on the outside into turn number 1. Here comes the 5 of Charlie Bowen. Once again, he made the same move at the start of the race, around the outside of the racetrack. He gets around Adams, and he gets around the leader, Matt Dickerson. Charlie Bowen back to the front after falling all the way back to 13th. After taking some extra, driving across the grass a couple of times. But it looks like, unfortunately, we have got an incident up here in turn number 4. I see Ringer involved, the 41 of Colton Gardner. You see heavy damage on the 55 of Todd Rush as well. Ringer with a meatball flag. He's trying to limp down pit road right now. I don't know if he has an engine left in that thing, or he looks like he's just coasting. He has to jump to his pit spot from right there. That is going to cost him at least a minute and a half. So we may see Ringer jump out of this race. So let's see if we can see what happened here. So let's keep an eye on. It looks like this happened somewhere. Got to happen somewhere around Gardner. So Gardner down on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Ringer, and it looks like it might be Wesley Fuse getting into the back of Ringer and shoves Ringer right up into the 41. And as Gardner's going around, Todd Rush just got clobber knocks the right rear, or the left rear, and Gardner's going to hit the outside. Ringer's going to hit this outside wall hard. So let's see if we can take a look here. We're going to go back and take a look at this from the roof cam of the 68 or the 58, what you want to call it. So watch. We're on board here with Wesley Fuse. And he's just getting in the corner right there. And Ringer had to check up just a little bit to not get into Gardner. Fuse did not anticipate it and gets into the back of the 83 and shoves him up into the 41. We'll take one more look at this. See if we can find just a little bit different angle of it. And I think what you'll see here, it almost looks like it started up with a 12. Gardner just got out of the throttle a little bit. Ringer backs out to keep him getting into him. And it's just an accordion effect right there. And unfortunately for Ringer, he makes hard contact with the outside wall. Jesse Singleton also looks like he got a little piece of that, because Jesse is now also down on pit road. So the 51 getting some more repairs. Ringer trying to get the 83 repaired. But your leader is Charlie Bowen. Where's our choose cone car? We're going to see the choose cone car out here on the racetrack. It's time for the Corey Bodeno choose cone. He's kind of sitting precariously on the racetrack right there. Let's see if he gets it lined up. There we go. So as the drivers make their way around, they will choose inside or outside. So Corey Bono doing race control and choose car. So it looks like, I think we might have, let's see what Wesley had to say about that incident.
Yeah, that was all on me.
But Wesley taking full credit for that incident right there. That's going to put Wesley to the back. Normally, I thought that put you to EOL. You can see up on the outside, look at the 55 of Todd Rush. Todd was still some damage after that earlier incident. And a little more from this one as well. So Todd Rush in the 55. He's going to try to get as much as he can out of that damaged race car for right now. All right, Bolin and Adams now. Bolin with a good start. Green flag in the air once again here on lap number 70. We got 130 left to go. 80 left to go in stage number 2. Off of turn number 2, it is Cliff Adams the second. Dickerson now taking a look to the bottom. He's going to have to tuck in line. Kruger's going to get around the outside. So that outside line's been working really well through 3 and 4. But as Bolin pushes up the racetrack off of turn number 4, that opens up the bottom to Cliff Adams across the line. It was Adams leading that lap. Contact was door banging right there between the 29 and the 44 as they made their way into turn number 1 and 2. We are 2 by 2. Noah's Ark style off of turn number 2. Bolin, Adams, Kruger, Dickerson, McHugh, and Steele. Cautions breed cautions, and you see why. Just everybody gets grouped back up, racing hard right here. We had 50 laps of green flag action before the stage. And here comes Charlie Bolin back on the outside. He is fighting to hang on to the lead. Now watch, see what happens here with Bolin. He ran out of tires pretty early in that first stage and was struggling something mightily. And let's see how we're just about 20 laps into this stage right now. Let's see how long he can stay out here in front as Brendan McHugh has now found his way around Steele down on the bottom of the racetrack. Kruger is going to get around Dickerson, drops Dickerson to 4th. Steele and McHugh side by side. Zach in the 88 with a good run. McHugh just about pushes up into the left rear quarter, able to check up and stay off of the 88. And we are going to keep going green right now. A little further back, we've got Jesse Singleton a lap down. He is the first car lap down in the 51, down here in 13th. Ringer also a lap down. Looks like he's back on the speedway, though. He's got that 83 fully repaired. He is down here in 14th. He's hoping for a couple cautions. He can get a lap back. All right, your leader is the 5 of Bolin. He led some laps earlier, fell back through the pack. He's found his way back to the front at the start of stage number 2. Cliff Adams right there with him. So Cliff, our biggest mover of the race, started back in 10th. He is up to 2nd. I'm telling you, man, those DRSN livery has really been a good luck charm here for Cliff. He's ran in the podium every night since he's had it, and right now he's back up in the podium spots. He's up to 2nd. Colton Gardner, after getting involved in an incident, starting to make his way back up through the field. He's back up to 8. He's got Jacob Barker in the 12, and right in front of him and right behind him is the 19 of Connor Fuge. Connor takes a peek to the outside. Gardner takes a look to the bottom of Barker right there. He's got a great run into 1. Can't quite make the pass. The 88's kind of blocking his line off right there. Just could not quite clear the 12. He's going to have to jump up to the outside as Barker takes a look to the outside of Steele. And that outside line's been really good getting to 3. As you can see, Barker get a good run up on the outside as he was able to get alongside of Zach. And also right now taking a look to get alongside the 32 of McHugh. So Barker has found a little something on the outside of the racetrack. Kruger's now made his way to 2nd. The 29 of Justin Kruger is now on the back bumper of the number 5 of Charlie Bolin. They come off of turn number 4. We're coming across the line to start lap number 79. I got my stages wrong, so that should be 50. There we go. So 29 to 50, so we're past halfway here on stage number 2. Brendan McHugh up on the outside of Matt Dickerson. Matt not having the best run here in this second stage. He was out in front when we started the stage. He is now falling back to 5th and danger of falling back to 6th right now as Gardner taking a look to the outside of the 44. Here comes Justin Kruger for the lead. Kruger on the outside. Charlie Bowens there make their way into turn number 3. Kruger not giving him a lot of space. He's giving him enough for him, about a car width and a half, but he's keeping him pinned down there pretty tight. But Bowling able to get up off the corner. Kruger enters into one a little bit mid-track, tries to run down the hill. You can see he gets a little momentum off of 2. Not able to gain the same ground into 3 as he did the last time around, though. Benedict Ringer up on the outside of Wesley Fuse. They got together just a little bit ago, was our latest caution. So Ringer is a lap down. He is the second car a lap down, so he would not get the lucky dog if a caution were to come out right now. That would go to Jesse Singleton. Because it looks like Ringer might have lost 2 laps. All right, back to the front. It looks like just about every car on the racetrack is right here nose to tail at the moment. All 14 drivers who started this race still out on the racetrack. And it's Charlie Boland. Once again, let's take a look at our lap leaders one more time. Matt Dickerson has led 36, but Charlie closing in on that, led 32. Singleton with 13. Cliff Adams has led 1 lap. And Cliff right back there in 3rd, trying to make his way back to the front. Barker up to 4th. Jacob Barker with a good run here. The Blue Ridge Racing number 12. Let's take a look at his Blue Ridge Racing teammates. Barker in 4th, Gardner 6th, Connor Fuse back there in 8th. And I need to just take Corey off of that list. Matt Dickerson trying to get himself back up to the front. He's going to find a way around Barker on the bottom. Has to get out of the throttle coming off the corner right there. And Barker's going to have the run. He's going to get loose right there. Comes down across the racetrack. Does a nice job of saving it. Does not collect the 44. And we've got a good battle up front. Just 15 laps left to go here in stage number 2. Kruger crosses over Bowling off of turn number 4. He's got the line into turn number 1. He's on the bottom of the racetrack. Bowling has made that outside line work, and he is coming back off of 2. Bowling back to the lead down the back straightaway. Kruger right there takes a look to the inside. He's got to run to the bottom of 3. But that outside line is shown to have been the fastest way around here. If you can be on the outside of somebody and keep him pinched to the bottom, as we said earlier, as Bowling is able to hang on to the lead off of turn number 4. And he is going to change his line a little bit. He's going to move up their hill about 2 car widths off the bottom. Justin Kruger up 5 spots, started back in 7th, now up to 2nd. Cliff Adams, your big mover of the race, up 7. And he is right there. We've got 3 cars right now. 5 fleet. Here comes Dickerson back at it. Matt dropped back, saved his tires a little bit. He is now charging back to the front. He's going to go around the outside of his teammate Cliff Adams, crosses back over, gets a little loose off of 2, but actually able to get up alongside Kruger for 2nd. And Matt is charging back to the front in the matter of about a straightaway. He is going to take 2nd from his, there's 3rd from his teammate Adams. He's looking to get by Kruger for 2nd. And he has got the bottom of the racetrack into 1 and 2. Clears the 29 and sets his sights on the number 5 of Charlie Bowling. Charlie took the lead from Matt about 15-20 laps ago, and Matt's looking to get it back. Here he comes back on the back bumper of the 5. So we got John up in the YouTube chat reminding me that this is about the time Charlie really started struggling in the last stage. We've got 10 laps left to go. Let's see if he can hang on here. It's all about the throttle control when these tires start going away off the corners. And right now, looking to do a good job right here, but Matt looks to be the quicker car on the racetrack. Last 5 laps, you can see it right here between Matt Dickerson and Charlie Bowen. About 1/10 of a second difference. Matt has been quicker every single lap. Adams now trying to get around Kruger for third. He falls back to fourth. Kruger way up the racetrack. Oh, that was Todd Rush staying out of the way. Oh, contact between McHugh and Gardner as they were going around the lap car. Todd Rush, Gardner, and Brendan McHugh get together right at the start-finish line. And we have got caution in the air once again. It looks like a meatball flag for McHugh, a meatball flag for Gardner. You can see Brendan McHugh smoking. He wants to try to drive it back to the pits if he can. He doesn't want to have to tow. Gardner is going to have to tow. And Jesse Singleton was the first car lapped down. He was hoping to get a lap back when a caution came out, but Todd had just gotten lapped. So that is going to give lucky dog to Todd Rush in the 55. Let's see if we can see what happened right here. We got Todd way up on the top of the racetrack. McHugh and Gardner coming along here off of turn number 4. So Todd's up the hill right there, and Brendan's the car just chases up the racetrack. He's trying to hang it down, but we're 3 wide at this point, and there's not a lot of space between these cars. And they make some contact right there, and it just gets the 41 sideways. Oh, that was kind of weird. Let's go back and take a look at that from maybe a little bit different angle. So let's see here if we get a little bit farther chase here somewhere. All right, so you're going to see him coming up off the corner, and Brendan's just the nose of the car is shoving up the racetrack. They make some contact right here with Gardner. And they just kind of get together one more time, and that's going to get Gardner loose. And as he's trying to save the car, he comes down and catches the right rear quarter of the 32. And unfortunately, Todd Rush is in the wrong place at the wrong time. Once again, out there on the outside of the racetrack. So let's see. I don't see anything. Don't see anything up in the chat right now, but unfortunately there for Colton Gardner, had a good run going, but he has got some damage on the 41. Let's see. We'll take a look at it here in real speed one more time. Let's look down from the blimp. And you can watch right here. The 32 pushes up, gets into the 41. They get together. And at the same time, Colton was kind of trying to turn down the hill to stay off the 55. They just met in the middle of the racetrack right there. But at the same time, it really looked like that Brendan, the nose of the car, was shoving up the hill a little bit on Brendan. All right, we're going to caution now for number 4. We got 5 laps left to go. I don't think they called that the stage. I don't see if anybody did or not. All right. All right, so green caution out once again. Lights are out on the pace truck, but they fooled me last time. So it looks like Jesse Singleton is going to get the lucky dog because Todd was involved in that incident. But as I say that, it looks like Jesse may have just disconnected from the server. All right, so it looks like we lost Jesse Singleton out of this race. I think he disconnected for one reason or another. It looks like Benedict Ringer may also be... No, Benny's out there. All right, so nobody got the lucky dog that time. I think it was going to go to Jesse, but he disconnected out of the race. I see Jonathan in the chat. Look, an incident Wesley wasn't involved in. Oh, Bowling gets loose on the restart, makes some contact with the outside wall. That is going to let Cliff Adams get separated right there. Almost had a big incident right there on the restart after that latest caution flag. Charlie Bowling spun the tires, got up into the outside wall, but able to hang on to it. Matt Dickerson actually short pitted right there, trying to charge his way back through the field. He pitted right there on that lap number 93. He knows we're going to have at least one stop. That might be a good strategy for Matt Dickerson. He will lead us after the end of this stage. If he stays out on the racetrack, but it's going to be Cliff Adams right now out in front looking to pick up a stage win. Couple laps left to go. Bowling takes a look to the inside. Does Charlie have a run into one? He does. He's up along the inside of Cliff Adams. They're going to roll off of turn number 2 side by side for the lead. Both get loose off the corner. They both tried to spin out. Here comes Barker now on the outside. We're 3 wide into 3 for the lead. Barker way up the hill, Bowling down in the bottom of the racetrack. Cliff Adams now up underneath them off of turn number 4. We are swapping the lead back and forth. Cliff Adams across the stripe will lead us this time by. Contact into 1. Bowling came down the hill, got into the right rear quarter of the 80. Here comes Kruger now to second. Charlie has to get out of the throttle. Here comes Matt Dickerson. He took tires on that caution flag. We're coming to the end of stage number 2. Bowling is going to hook the right rear of Matt Dickerson as they got down into the corner. 44 of Matt Dickerson turned into the outside wall. Matt Dickerson heavy contact as we came to the end of stage number 2. And you can see the damage on the 44. It is crab walking. Matt with a little different strategy. He pitted, came in and got some tires there at that caution. And that is going to bring out the caution at this. It was coming to the stage anyway. But Matt Dickerson with some heavy contact with the outside wall after contact with the 5 of Charlie Bowling. Let's take a quick look at that here. We'll probably take a couple different angles of that. You can see some smoke down in the infield. I'm not sure what that was. Now, this might be it. I don't know. We'll see what this looks like here. We'll grab something here. All right, so we got, you can see as they come off of turn number 2, Matt was able to get up alongside of Charlie down the back straightaway. And if we make our way down into turn number 3, let's just see what we got here. Just gets into the right rear right there. I don't know if Charlie turned down the hill or Matt came up the hill. We'll have to take a different look at that again. We'll just rewind it here, whatever. We'll just take a couple different shots of it. All right, so let's just see let's keep an eye. Where is Matt on the racetrack? So Matt enters down to the bottom of the racetrack. And they really hadn't even gotten a corner here at that point. I'm kind of watching that black line on the racetrack that you can see, and you can see Matt actually turns the car down the hill into the corner. And just watch right here. If you follow that black line, you can see Matt start to take a turn down to the left. Charlie just follows him down the hill, and I think he really expected Matt to go further down to the white line, but gets into the right rear quarter, turns Matt around, hooks him in the right rear. Barker going to get involved in that as well. 12 of Jacob Barton are going to take some damage, but it was really Matt Dickerson took the heaviest hit. So I'm looking up here at the chat. I don't see really anybody taking credit for that, but I don't see anybody really throwing a fit about it either. So we're going to go back to live time here. It looks like Matt was able to come get the repairs done on the 44. That is going to be the end of the stage. Let's see here. I see Matt saying sorry to Charlie.
Sorry, Charlie.
Yeah, let me see what that was there. All right, we're going to see what happens here. So it looks like Matt is going to get a spot back here. He's going to get back up to 7th. Bowling looks to be given the EOL, so he's going to move down to 10th. Wesley Fuse in 11th. Ringer still a lap down. The 51 and Jesse Singleton is out of this race after leading some laps early. All right, we're going to go back to racing on lap 105. No more stages. We are done stage racing here tonight. We are going to go the last 100 laps. Kruger out in front with new leader. Contact between Adams and McHugh. McHugh is going to make contact to the outside. Bowling, hard contact into the back of the 32. We are under caution once again. The hood up on the 5. Heavy contact once again. It looked like it started off, and we got Gardner also towed down to pit road. So it looks like the first contact I saw was with Adams and McHugh. So let's just take a look here and see what happened. So we're going to see McHugh looking to the outside of, let's just see if we can get up and see where this happens at here. All right, so McHugh's coming down the race. Mark Osher, a lap down at that point. I think Mark's, no, he's not really a lap down, but that's the initial contact right there, is between the 17 and the 32. And I really think Brendan just thought he had the space, so they're going to get together right there, get turned around. Adams, and then here comes Charlie, really does not see McHugh coming back up the racetrack. We're going to take a look at this from the hood cam of Charlie. So watch the 5 car. We're just going to go ahead and real time. You can see up in front. You can see the 32 turning around sideways. Charlie goes to the outside, and there's the 32 right there. Hood up in the face. And that just might be the end of the night for Charlie Bowling. As he had to tow down to pit road. So we've got good cars led early. Gardner looks to be out of the race as well. We'll get back to live time. All right, we are down to, man, we had 50 laps of green flag action before the stage. We throw a caution, and what happens when you throw a caution? You just get more cautions. So I get on my soapbox a little bit every once in a while, and I just talk about how much I hate stage racing, and that's exactly why right there. You get the cars grouped back up together. I know they created stage racing to group the cars back together so nobody was just running away with things. But it tends to what happened when you get everybody grouped back together. We had a really good run going for 50 laps, and we've just had multiple cautions ever since. We are now under caution number 6. But we got no more stages. We just got to get rolling here under green flag. I think we have 10 cars left on the racetrack. No ringers still out there, so we got 11 left on the racetrack as Bowling has disconnected. So we started with 14. We're down to 11. I want to thank you all for being here with us tonight. We also have another race going on the other side of the channel. Go back and watch that later. It is the Fire for Effect ARCA series. Also going on right now on the channel. But don't leave here. Stay here with us right now. Go back and watch it later. Got more action coming your way tomorrow night. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. Give us a like. Hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. Tomorrow night, we're going to be here with the JWR iRacing Saturday Night Fever Money Series. Super Speedway Racing at its best. Be here for that. And then we're back next Tuesday night. And we've got the Rush Champions Series coming at your way at 8 o'clock Eastern Tuesday night. And then we've also, that same night, we got the Western Racing League Truck Series. So a lot more racing coming your way. If you haven't subscribed already, do so now. You don't want to miss anything coming to you on the channel. But right now, we're going to get green flag racing again. We've got 91 laps left to go, 92 to go. Justin Kruger out in front, Zachary Steele in second. We make our way through turn number 1. They are side by side once again. Dickerson, Adams, Barker is top 5. Zach Steele with a good move on the outside. He's looking to get the 88 up in front. He has not led any laps here tonight. 3 wide off of turn number 4. Adams backs out of it, settles back in line. Dickerson on the bottom. Zach Steele now to the outside of the 29. He's getting a good run into 1 and 2. Zach Steele to the point. The 88 gets loose into the corner, chases up the racetrack, does a good job of keeping it off the wall, but he is going to lose 3 spots right there as Kruger Adams actually only loses 2. Dickerson did not go by him. Dickerson had to get out of the throttle to keep from getting into the back of the 88. We still got a car smoking down there in the infield. We got 11 cars on the racetrack, 10 on the lead lap. The only driver not on the lead lap is Ringer. And Ringer was quick earlier. If he can get back on the lead lap, he may be a threat. Where is Ringer? He is actually, it looks like he may be, there he is back here in the back making his way through the field. He is a lap down though. Watch the 83. I don't think his race is done quite yet. We've got a lot of laps left to go, but he needs a caution if he is going to have a chance to get up here and race for the lead. All right, where are we at? Todd Rush in the 55 got himself up into 6th, looking to get in the top 5 right here. He's been involved in a couple cautions tonight. But Todd is putting pressure on the number 12 of Barker. And you can see right here, Todd started back in 9th, up to 6th, up 3 spots. That does not really show his adventure. If we were to show Todd's adventure, you can see he has been down in the back of the pack all the way down to 14th at one point, dead last. He's made his way back up to 6th. So Todd doing a good job staying out there on the racetrack. He's running 12th in points. His ZZ Motorsports teammate of Zach Steele got up there and led a lap, but here comes Cliff Adams out of the lead. Adams back out in front, Kruger to 2nd. And we come across the line, lap 116, 85 laps left to go here at Iowa. For our last caution, let's see, last time anybody pitted was back at 101. We're definitely going to have at least one more pit stop from everybody in the field. So let's see if we can, it's going to be a green flag stop or we're going to find a caution somewhere. So we're looking about 80 to 86 laps is what we were told fuel mileage. So if for some reason a caution were to come out now, they could pit and make it the distance. Your top 3 starting to get a little separation. It's Adam, Kruger, and Steele, and it's a little ways back to the 44 of Dickerson and Jacob Barker. That's your top 5 right now. And just a reminder, coming into tonight, there was your point standings right there. There's the cut line, Todd Rush, and we've got just a couple of weeks left to go for the cut. Todd Rush only 2 points out in front of Brendan McHugh. Connor Fuse was about 14 points back. But right now, Connor has got to get around Todd if he wants to gain some ground on that chase. As McHugh finds himself back on the lead lap, and he's back in 10th. And Brendan's been quick, but if he can get himself back to the front. But right now, Todd Rush would be holding the advantage over that playoff chase. And you can see Benedict Ringer, even though he's a lap down, he has made his way, making his way through this field. So the 83, he just needs a caution flag. He needs a little luck, get back on the lead lap after getting involved in an incident earlier. All right, top 3, Cliff Adams back out in front of this race. He led some laps earlier. Kruger right there as well. I mean, we've had, how many different lap leaders have we had now? We've now had 5 different leaders. Bowling led the most at 45. Matt Dickerson 36. Adams now led 17. Singleton and Kruger. And I thought Zach got up there and led a lap as well. Maybe he did not hold the lead at the line. All right, let's take a look here at the gap between Matt Dickerson and Zach Steele. And you can see Matt gaining just a little under 1/10 of a second a lap on the average. So he is starting to reel in these top 4. And you can see Matt taking a little bit different entry into the corner right there. It seems to be paying off for him. You see he is starting to gain on the 88 of Zach Steele. It's about 7.5 tenths of a second, up to 8 tenths. But you can see right there, The gap closes, getting into the corner. Matt's just a little better getting in. And Zach drives off a little bit off the corner, so Matt able to drive down to the corner a little bit deeper than those cars in front of him. He is making up some ground. But we take a look here at the 29 of Kruger. Your top three all alone. Matt Dickerson starting to close in. It's a little ways back. Todd Rush is now moving himself up into 5th. He has got the lap car Benedict Ringer right there behind him. So Todd's found a little pace right here. He is coming to the front. Your top three nose to tail. We've got 75 laps to go as we come across the line. And I'm looking back at our, let's just take a look at it right here. We can see our stats and everything on this new fancy graphic here that came to us from CDSN. So Kruger, 15 starts on the season, 2 top 5s, has yet to pick up a victory. So Justin Kruger hungry for a win. He wants to get out in front of this race, but right now he's second behind Cliff Adams in the 80, and he's got this 88 of Zach Steele all over the back of him. Top three, nose to tail out in front. Matt Dickerson starting to close in the 44. He is making up ground. He has been making up about 1/10 of a second per lap for about the last 10 to 15 laps. It is about to be a 4-car battle. Now we're within our pit window right now. We pitted only about 26 laps left to go, so I can see most of these drivers probably going to try to split this in half, at least. They can go 80 laps on fuel, but they have to stop at least once. I would expect to start seeing pit stops somewhere around about lap 160, maybe 150 at the earliest if they try to split it pretty much the run directly into half. So we'll see how that plays out, as right now it's a 4-car breakaway. But here comes Todd Rush. Let's take a look at Todd Rush compared to the leaders' lap times here for the last 4 or 5 laps. Lose a little bit slower, losing just a little under about 0.02 of a second. But Todd looking really smooth, looking to get one of his first top 5s. I don't know if Todd's had a top 5 all season long. He has not. So no top 5, but 5 top 10s during the season. But looking to get himself into the top 5 for the first time this year, and he's doing a good job right now after starting back in 9th. Steele takes a look to the inside of Kruger off of turn number 4. Adams starting to get some separation. He is now about 8 to 9 tenths of a car, 8 to 9 car lengths out in front of this duo, battling it out for a second. But Kruger able to make a run into the corner, closes that gap in on Adams. Little battle going on back here in the back. This is between the Fuses. It's Connor Fuse and Wesley Fuse. This is 8th and 9th. Wesley involved in a couple cautions earlier, but now got himself into the top 10. He is closing in on the back of the 19 of Connor Fuse. And I don't know the relationship there, but I see John Fuse up in the chat, so John can probably tell us. Watch the 44. Here comes Matt Dickerson on the bottom, and look how he has saved these tires. You can see how he's able to keep the car right down on the white line through the corners. You saw Kruger up there in front of him chasing the car down the hill. And watch the entry for Matt Dickerson. This is how he's getting into the corners so much cleaner. But those drivers that are entering a little bit higher up the racetrack are able to get a little better pace off. And you see they get a little separation right there. So, but we're about to have a 4-car battle here up front here as Matt Dickerson's closing in. All right, Wes is the older brother of Connor. All right, so we got brothers going at it back here for 8th and 9th. Thank you for that, John. Todd Rush doing a good job hanging on to 5th. Jacob Barker in 6th. Mark Osher, as usual, did not qualify tonight. We see Mark most of the time not put down a qualifying lap. He started back. He's basically started in 14th. He's up to 7th. And then behind him is that battle with Connor and Wesley. And a little ways back, it is Brendan McHugh in the 32. And I'm guessing that Brendan still has some damage on that race car. The back bumper's still gone off of it. So unfortunately for Brendan, had a really good car earlier, but got involved in that last incident. And, oh yeah, heavy damage still on the right front of that car as well. So he's just hanging on. As a matter of fact, he is about ready to go a lap down. Leaders are starting to close in on the back of the 32. You can see him just a little further up the road right there on the left side of the screen. "65 laps left to go for Cliff Adams. If he wants to pick up another victory on the season, he has won 4 already. Looking to be the 3rd driver to win 5 or more. So you can see all the way back in 10th at one point, to worked his way back to the front. And Cliff is one of the most consistent, smoothest drivers you're going to see out here. He's putting down some really solid laps. Not making him a single mistake. Kruger is going to have to work if he's going to get up on the back of the 80. And right there, it has taken about 15, maybe 17 or 18 laps for Dickerson, but he has now caught this top 3 as they're getting ready to catch the 32 of McHugh, just a little further up the road. Kruger up the hill a little bit, lets Zach Steele get underneath of him. That's not the camera I wanted. There we go. So Kruger's going to give up a couple spots, pushed up the racetrack, and he is going to lose 2 spots now to Steele and to Dickerson. All right, so Zach Steele able to get around the 29. Does he have anything for Cliff Adams? Zach's doing a good job getting into the corner. Getting a good run into the corner. Gets a little loose right there off of 4. As they're going to put a lap on the 32 of McHugh. And Brandon's going to keep the car way up the hill on the racetrack. He is trying to get the best finish he can. He needs as many points as possible. He is just 1 spot out of the playoff chase. But the driver he is chasing is the 55 of Todd Rush. And Todd's having a good run here today. Got himself into the top 5. But he is about to have a battle with the 12 of Jacob Barker. As Jaker has caught Todd for that 5th spot. We're going to keep an eye on the 12 car. Last few laps around, Jacob has been the faster of the 2 on the average. Yeah, I hope that's not me, John. Trust me. I will surely screw that up. All right, look at this up front. Zach Steele looking to have one of his better runs of the season. He is right there on the back of the 80 of Cliff Adams. He's got Cliff's teammate and Matt Dickerson closing on the back of him for 2nd. Matt gets a good run into the 3. And Matt has shown he is able to keep that car down on the bottom of the racetrack, as we've shown a few laps ago. He is now up alongside of Zach, but Zach's going to get a run off of 4, off the outside. And they're still side by side into 1. And Matt Dickerson back to 2nd. He is able to get around Zach Steele. Zach's 7th in points. Started 19 races, 8 top 5, 10 top 10s. Or excuse me, 14 top 10s. Looking to get a good podium finish here tonight. If he hangs on to 3rd, Kruger is now falling back to 4th. All right, looks like the racing's gotten settled out here a little bit. We're going to take this minute and step away. We have 57 laps left to go in this race. Cliff Adams, Matt Dickerson, Zach Steele, Justin Kruger. That's your top 4. That's a little farther back as Barker's now made his way around Todd Rush for 5th. Todd Rush, Mark Osher, Connor Fuse, Wesley Fuse, Benedict Ringer. That is your top 10. My name is Chris Murphy here with DRSN. We're going to be right back.
Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
All right, we are back live. Matt Dickerson has made his way back to the front, able to get around his Vortex Motorsports teammate at Cliff Adams. Zach Steele hanging on to third. As a matter of fact, Zach is closed back in about 2 car lengths off the back bumper of the 80. Justin Kruger a little farther back right now. As you can see, Benedict Ringer looks to be one of the fastest cars on the racetrack right now. Last time around, let's take a look here. We've got another nice graphic here that'll show us fastest 5 cars the last time around, and Ringer was the second fastest car on the racetrack. Although he is a lap down, he is coming up here trying to get himself back on the lead lap. He may just unlap himself without a caution. But Matt Dickerson able to close in on the 80 of that group he was in front of. He was way back for a while, but he caught that group. And not only that, he has passed Kruger, Steele, and Adams, and he has set sail. He is now over a second clear of the second place battle between Adams and Zach Steele. Kruger down to 4th. Let's take a look at this battle we have going on back here between Wesley and Connor. Connor able to drive away. Younger brother Connor getting away from Wesley now for 7th. So we're down to 10. I believe we're down to 11 cars left on the racetrack. Brendan McHugh still limping around out there trying to get some points. I think he's hoping something might happen to Todd so he can gain a few more points, as Todd is now down in the 6th spot. Here comes Brendan right there behind him with some heavy damage on the back of the 32. Matt Dickerson looking to pick up another victory on the season. Really didn't think he'd have a chance once when him and Charlie got together on that incident that Matt hit the outside wall a ton. Able to use a faster pair there, it looked like, get himself back on the racetrack, because he is now out in front of this thing. Looks to be the dominant car, but as I say that, Cliff Adams has reeled him in by about 0.2 of a second the last couple of laps. And look at Benedict Ringer. Benedict Ringer is the fastest car on the racetrack right now in the 83, but he finds himself a lap down. He's 4th on the racetrack, but he's 10th on the timing and scoring, but he's trying to get around these drivers, get himself unlapped. We got 45 laps left to go. A pit stop right now would definitely carry everybody to the end. Fuel is not going to become an issue. Everybody has to stop at least one time. Tires are what's going to be the issue. Does anybody take a chance and take 2? We saw everybody go pretty much 50 laps earlier with no tires. A few drivers struggled with that. But we may just see somebody gamble for 2 tires here on this last stop as we take a look here at the 83 of Ringer, as he has now found his way around Steele. Steele is going to be the first driver to blink. He's going to come down pit road in the 88. Zach's had a good car. He's going to come down to see if he takes 2 or 4. He is going to set the stage here for everybody else. Zach Steele down pit road. It looks like Todd Rush, his CZ Motorsports teammate, is going to come down here with him. So we're going to see the right side of the car come up here on the 88. He's going to take 4, so 4 tires for Zach. But let's see if he's going to short here. Let's see how long these other drivers stay out. If he's able to get on the racetrack, put down some good laps. If he can undercut these guys and get some good laps in here before they pit. It looks like the 44 of Dickerson and Cliff Adams are going to stay on the racetrack. Adams gets a little loose right there off of 4. So Zach really needs a good in and out lap. He had a good stop of 47.85, actually a 47.10 for total pit in and out. And that is one of the better four tire stops we've seen tonight. So a good stop here for Zach. Let's see how many laps Matt and Cliff stay on the racetrack. They're going to stay out at least one more time. So Zach Steele's got a chance to come up, get out here, make a couple of good out laps, get some good lap times in. And as we cycle through these pit stops, he may just put himself out into the lead of this race. So he did go a lap down with the pit stop, which is not unexpected at a short track, only less than a mile racetrack like this. All right. So it looks like the Votech Motorsports drivers of Dickerson and Adams are going to play the long game here. They're going to stay out on the racetrack a little bit longer. They're going to take tires. They are going to gamble on having the better set of tires at the end of this race. Let Zach pit here early. But look at the 83. Oh, Ringer gets loose right there. So Ringer has been the fastest car on the racetrack, but he's a lap down. He really needs a caution to give himself a chance for a good finish here, but he looks like he's going to unlap himself here as soon as Matt and Cliff dive down pit road. Adams looks to look to the inside of Dickerson into 3. Cliff Adams going to move back out in front. So Dickerson might have used his stuff up, charging back up through the field. They're side by side now across the line. Matt Dickerson back to the inside. Your battle for the lead between the Vortex Motorsports teammates, and all this is doing is helping out Zach. Zach undercut these drivers. He's out there putting in some lap times. Let's see. Let's just take a look at the last couple of laps here since he came out of the pits, and you can see it right there. A second a lap. A full second a lap he is putting on your leader right now, Matt Dickerson. So Matt and Cliff stand out on the racetrack, and not only that, they're battling back and forth. And they have got to pit here at some point. They pitted back on, looks like, back about lap 101 was when Matt pitted. Cliff about the same, so 101 at the end of stage number 2. They've now gone 50. They can go another 20 laps. But I don't know if they're going to stretch it that long. We're going to see what happens. They both let Benedict Ringer go around, so Ringer now back on the lead lap as he gets around our leaders. But let me see who's pitted now. Brendan McHugh is not yet pitted, so Zach pitted on 156. Mark Osher and Todd Rush all pitted. So we're waiting for the rest of our leaders to make their decision. When they're going to come down pit road, take on fuel. I mean, at this point, Zach is only about 32 seconds behind our leaders, the 88, and it's been about 40. I mean, the fastest stop we saw for a total pit lap was 47 seconds. So at this pace, if my math is correct in my head, I mean, Zach can come out of this thing with about an 8 to 9 second lead. Now he's going to be on older tires. Let's just see how this plays out. We don't usually get a lot of these long green flag runs like this. We're really going to tire strategy and pit strategy is really going to come into play. We're going to see what happens, but still, Matt Dickerson, Cliff Adams out in front. Jacob Barker in third, Connor Fuse and Wesley Fuse. That rounds out your top 5 right now. Benedict Ringer on the lead lap as he just unlapped himself. He's in 6th. Zach Steele in 7th, the first car lap down and the first car that pitted. Now look, I don't claim to be anything of a pit strategy expert. These guys are out here on the racetrack doing a lot more than I do. They've done it a lot more than I have. And they've got a plan. So with Zach pitting on lap 156, when we get to the end of this race, he's going to about 44 lap old tires. So let's just see how this plays out. We're still waiting to see when our two leaders are going to come down pit road. Brendan McHugh in the 32 is going to find his way down pit road. They're going to stay out on the racetrack one more time. I mean, again, we take a look at these last 5 laps. 1.2 seconds, 0.9, 0.8. A full second advantage per lap Zach Steele's been doing since he pitted. And he pitted back on lap, what did I say, 156. He's been on the racetrack now for about 13 laps, so he has been put 11 to 12 seconds between himself and our leaders. And right now he is only 28 seconds back. But what is Matt Dickerson and Cliff Adams going to do? They're going to stay in line right here. I don't think they're going to battle anymore for the lead like they did a little bit ago. That really cost them some time. As you see, Zach Steele making his way around Jacob Barker. So he's already unlapped himself in the third place car. And you can see Zach not too far behind our leaders on the racetrack right now. And he's going to look to unlap himself. Zach's coming off of turn number 4. The leader's just going across the line. I mean, he has caught the leaders right here. He's going to unlap himself at this point if they don't pit soon. Matt Dickerson out in front. This would be a huge win for Zach Steele. He's yet to have a podium this season. I think he picked up a win last night in one of the dirt races. We missed that opportunity to get on and do some racing. But here comes the 88 of Zach Steele. Is this strategy going to play out for him, or is it going to bite him on the nose? 27 laps left to go. He gets around Cliff Adams, unlaps himself from the 80. Keep an eye on the 44 of Matt Dickerson and the 80 of Cliff Adams. Are they going to pit? When are they going to pit? And Zach Steele is going to unlap himself right now on the leader. So Mark Osher close right there. Zach slid up in front of the 17. That was close contact between Zach Steele and Mark Osher, but right now, Zach Steele's got himself back on the lead lap. Could it be that Matt and Cliff are just trying to... Are they half pedaling this thing, just trying to take it to the distance? Can they go 100 laps on fuel? We were told earlier it was about 86. What is the strategy right now? I need somebody over in their Discord finding out what the strategy is. Because we are just guessing up here in the booth right now, but we're watching Matt Dickerson out in lead, looking to pick up another victory, our points leader. They've got the 17 of Mark Osher. Mark is at least one lap down, maybe two at this point. He's going to move up the racetrack, get out of the way. Here comes... And Barker not too far behind in the 12, in the third spot right now. So Mark pitted back on lap 154. All right, this is going to get interesting. This is not something we get to see very often on a Friday night. You don't get to see these late, long runs like this. We have gone basically about 75 laps here under green since our last caution. 22 laps left to go. Man, I'm starting to think they're going to try to stretch it the rest of the way on fuel. But actually, right now, Jacob Barker looks to be closing in the 12. Jacob pitted about the same time, so we're about to have a three-car battle because it looks like Jacob, eyeball test anyway, is making up ground on Matt Dickerson and Cliff Adams. Well, let's take a look here. Down the front straightaway. I'm not seeing full RPMs right there out of Matt Dickerson. I think they're running about 3/4 throttle. They're backing out of the throttle early and just letting the car roll down into the corners. And I think they're trying to save fuel at this point. We got 20 to go. If they pit right now, there is no way they'd be able to run down Zach Steele. Zach now 22 seconds back. So we got 5 drivers that have yet to make their final pit stop if they're going to make a stop. But Mark Osher gets a little loose right there in front of our leader. That was a close one. That was a pucker factor of 5 right there for Matt Dickerson and Cliff Adams. Jacob Barker just a little further back. There's Kruger now. Kruger a lap down as Justin Kruger pitted back on lap 165. So watch the 29 come through the field. We look down from the, we're going to call this the drone shot, down onto the 44 of Matt Dickerson and Cliff Adams. They are teammates, the Vortex Motorsports teammates right here, 1 and 2. Whatever strategy one is playing, the other's doing the same. Adams running a little bit different line here. We've seen Matt, even on these older tires, be able to hold the car right down on the bottom of the racetrack. A little behind him, here comes Justin Kruger. Justin, the first car a lap down, looking to unlap himself. We got 17 to go. They are definitely going to stretch. I mean, there's no way they're not trying to stretch this to the end at this point. Adams takes a look to the outside of Dickerson. They're side by side into one. Cliff Adams has got a good run here on the outside. Can he try to I thought he might try to cross him over off of turn number 2. They're side by side for the lead. I don't think they're saving fuel at this point. Dickerson now comes back on the bottom. 2 by 2 right there in front of the lap car. Kruger trying to unlap himself, but really doesn't have anywhere to go. He gets loose off of 4. So we got John Fuse up in the chat saying the top 5 can make it on fuel. We're going to find out. They are definitely looking at the in-car telemetry that we saw a little bit ago. It looks like they've been lifting off the throttle for a long time. At the line, that was a dead heat. Cliff Adams going to lead. 3 wide into 1 and 2. Contact between Kruger and Dickerson. Kruger trying to unlap himself. I don't know if Matt saw him sneak up in there right there. They get together into turn number 1. Kruger is going to... Pretty much at this point, if I am Adams or Dickerson, I'm just going to let Kruger get by. He's a lap down with only 14 laps left to go. He is not going to be able to reel him in. And I'm not sure if Kruger didn't take a little damage right there because he was blowing through. Contact right there again between Kruger and Dickerson. I'm not sure what that was. So contact right there between the 44 and the 29. Not sure what happened there. They made a little contact the corner before. That has handed the lead over to Cliff Adams. We got 10 to 11 to go. Zach Steele is still in 6th. He is charging through the field. He looked to be in good shape to have a podium finish here tonight. But we got 5 drivers that are trying to stretch it on fuel. Let's see where Zach can end up. He's got Wesley Fuse and Connor Fuse. Like Wesley about 1.5 seconds up the road, and it's a little further up to Connor. Let's see how far he can get back up into the field. But it looks like our top 5 drivers are all going to be able to stay out there on the racetrack. But it looks like right now, this looks like Cliff's race to win. It looks like Matt might have taken a little bit of damage with that contact between himself and the 29. 7 drivers still on the lead lap. Cliff looking to bring home his 2nd win. And that was the last, I mean, what was his last win? He last picked up a victory at Pocono. That was about 5 or 6 races ago, so looking to pick up another win here tonight. Because right now, Matt Dickerson is closing back in, so maybe did not take as much damage as I thought he did, but he got together there with Justin, went up the hill of the racetrack. So the 44 of Matt Dickerson is starting to close back in on his teammate. And looks to be the faster of the 2 right now. They make their way across the line. 7 to go. Zach Steele able to get himself back up into the top 5. He gets around Wesley. He's got about 4.5 seconds to catch Connor Fuse for 4th. And that may be about the best he's going to hope for at this point. So a good drive there from Zach, but we're going to keep an eye on his battle up front. We are under 10 laps left to go here at Iowa for the Half Decent Racing League. Matt Dickerson closes in on the back bump. They get together right there. Cliff gets a little bit loose. Little contact there between the 44 and the 80 off the corner. A little bump and run there from the 44. I think he just had a little bit more momentum off the corners he thought he was going to have. Gets into the back of the 80. Cliff Adams gets a little bit loose. That allows Matt Dickerson to get back out in front. 5 to go this time by. And I think that might have been Cliff Adams' last shot. As Matt Dickerson gets back out in front of us, he's already driven away about 0.6 of a second. That's your top 2, and then it's 6 seconds. Back to Jacob Barker. Hanging on to 3rd. Connor Fuse in 4th. Zach Steele back up to 5th. Wesley Fuse in 7th. Would be one of the better finishes for Wesley all season long. Connor did pick up a win at the opening race of the season at Daytona. But right now, it's 3 laps left to go for Matt Dickerson to pick up one more victory on the season. Take a look at the 19 at Connor Fuse right here in 4th. Started in 11th, moved up 7 spots. Not our biggest mover of the race. Adams is our biggest mover of the race after starting in 10th. So we're down to 7 cars on the lead lap. Your leader is still Matt Dickerson, 2 to go. Looking to pick up the league leading 8 wins on the season. Add a little cushion more to his point lead over Cliff Adams. Todd Rush in 9th. He is lost. He's going to gain a little bit of ground to McHugh. Across the line, 1 lap left to go for Matt Dickerson. Looking to pick up another win on the season here at Iowa. How much fuel is left in that race car? Down the back straightaway. Adams in 2nd. He's got Kruger all over the back of him now in the 29. But off of turn number 4 across the line, it is going to be the 44. The Bully Dog Coffee sponsor number 44. Matt Dickerson will bring home the victory here at Iowa. Cliff Adams in 2nd. A little further back, you're going to find the 12 of Jacob Barker. Connor Fuse rolls off of turn number 4. He is going to roll home with a top 4 finish. He'll come home in 4th. Zach Steele in the 88 will make his way across the line for a top 5 finish. And a little further back, we see the 68 or the 58, whichever one you want to call it, of Wesley Fuse. He'll come home in 6th. Benedict Ringer was closing in on the back of Wesley, but he is going to finish in 7th. Justin Kruger a lap down in 8th. Todd Rush with a good top 10 finish. He will come home in 9th. Mark Osher in 10th. And that will be our 10 cars that finish the race. So pulling up at the start-finish line, Matt Dickerson, Cliff Adams, Jacob Barker, Todd Rush. Not sure what Todd was doing there. He's just kind of parked across the racetrack right there. All right. So Matt with another victory on the season. Cliff Adams right there. Here comes Todd. And that is going to that's going to wrap up our finish here at Iowa. 200 laps of racing action. We saw, how many different leaders did we have? We had 5 different leaders of the race. Charlie Bowling looked to be a good car tonight. Unfortunately, did not end the way he had hoped. He's gonna come home way back in 12th after leading 45 laps of the race. Jesse Singleton did not finish this race either. Justin Kruger got up there and led some laps, but unfortunately he ended up a lap down as well. So let's see if we can find anybody up in the Discord. And get our post-race interviews underway. I don't see Matt or Cliff in there quite yet. We're going to go back and watch the last few laps of this thing between Matt Dickerson. I want to see if I could find that incident with Matt and Justin. I was not able to mark it here anywhere, so we're going to see if we can just find it here. So we can see right here the three of them together. We're just going to kind of keep an eye on it. All right, looks like we got Matt up in the booth, so we will get Matt up here with us, or get him up in the booth with us. He's in the waiting room right now. Actually, we're going to use this. There we go. All right. All right, you got Matt, you got Chris in the booth. Are you there? All right, let me get you, let me get it so everybody else can hear you here. All right, you there now?
Yep.
All right, well, I think we got a lot to talk about after that one tonight. That was pretty interesting, my friend. You set the pace early. You had some good challenges going on from Jesse. Charlie looked to have a really good car. And just kind of, instead of me playing it out, why don't you just kind of tell me how it was from behind the steering wheel of the 44 tonight?
Yeah, it just seemed like a lot of stuff went wrong that that did, and then I felt like I had, I think I could save a lot more tire than almost everybody in the field, and that's what helped me a lot. Like I still had two sets of tires at the end, like the end of this race. I just ran like 110 laps on that last set. I didn't even pit. I didn't even take tires when I used my fast pair after I wrecked with Charlie there. So I was able to run that whole last 110 laps or so on one set, and I don't know, this track. That's what I was telling you last week. It's like one of my favorite tracks on here. For some reason, I'm able to like really get it to rotate center and get off, and then be able to wear my right sides evenly, so you don't get too tight or too loose late in the run. Just fun, man. I love this track.
Well, you guys between the you and Cliff, you guys had me calling things all wrong at the end of that. I really expected everybody was going to have to pit. You guys told me about 86 laps of fuel, and you guys went 99.
Yeah, as soon as we
yeah,
came in the race, like it changed. Like as soon as we
yeah,
went to line up on pit road, like I had like 101 laps for some reason. And it's weird how it's different for every car. Like when I came in the race, I had like 100 laps, and then Brendan had like 87, and Cliff had like 94. It was like all different.
that's crazy.
It's weird. It's weird.
Well, the strategy paid off for you. I was I was watching Zach. He short pitted there. I thought he might have had an advantage on you guys if you couldn't make it on fuel, but really the strategy played out for you. And then late in the race, right there, you got your battling up, and you guys get together there with Justin. What kind of happened there? We just got done kind of watching the replay of it on the screen.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I seen him. I don't know. I seen him coming, and I figured he was on fresher tires. So, and I seen him go 3 wide, so I kind of like backed out of it, and I thought he would just wrap the bottom and like fly around us, but I guess he like slid up when he was 3 wide there. I'm actually watching it back now too, and then I was like, oh, after he contacted me there, I was like, oh, he's good, and I think he got into me again after that, but it's all good, man. I know he don't do that kind of stuff on purpose, so it's all good. I was mad in the moment for a minute, but it's all good. Justin's a good dude.
Well, I saw some chatter. So with our nice new tool, Rapid Replay, we didn't get to play a lot of it tonight, but I could see what was going on, and it looked like some guys were a little. I only got to saw the text, so I didn't get to hear the tone of the conversation. But were there a few guys a little unhappy that you guys didn't come in and pit?
Oh, I don't know. I did. I don't know. I heard Todd at the end say something messing around, but yeah, I don't.
Well,
I don't
see,
know.
all I got to read is the text. I don't get to hear the inflection of the context of the conversation. So, but you guys really you surprised one on me tonight. I thought I was going to get the call like a nice field battle there at the end, but instead you guys played it right, and once again, Vortex Motorsports comes out on top. You and Cliff just had a good run right there at the end. And I thought Cliff was going to give you a little more of a battle, but once you got around him, just kind of were able to drive away.
Yeah, I thought. I thought that that second time Justin got me there, I almost like stopped in the corner. Cliff, he seemed to be out there like a couple seconds almost. I was like, oh, it's over now, because there's only like 12 laps left, and then because I was a little bit worried about my right front because I didn't, it was like 100 and whatever laps. But after I got, Justin got into me and I was like 2 seconds back, I was like, you know what, screw it. And I just started driving the shit out of it, not worrying about if my right front went away, and I was able to catch back up to him and then
Well-
sneak around him. But yeah, that was so fun. Like even before that, ran side by side for like 4 or 5 laps with no tire. That was crazy.
Well, there was a lot. I mean, that first 50 laps, that first stage, man, you guys were putting on a hell of a show. And towards the end of the second stage, but once we started getting a few cautions going on there for a while, and we lost some drivers. We got that long green flag at the run. But man, there was a few guys there. I think I think we'd have had one hell of a race there at the end if we hadn't lost a few of the guys out of the race that we did. But congratulations to you once again, man. Another victory is going to pad your point lead. And we got 2 weeks off, and then we come back for Daytona. Now, I am personally not going to be here for Daytona, which I'm sad to miss. But you got 2 more weeks here of I don't know what is it with these long weeks off. I'm not even sure how they schedule this stuff.
I don't know. It was weird.
Well,
I don't know how it works.
You're gonna come back for Daytona. I know you're good on the super speedways, but also at the same time, there's a little bit of luck involved. How you feeling about that one?
Oh yeah, I mean it's just luck really. For some reason I seem to be really good at qualifying on super speedways. I don't know if it's like being smooth with a wheel or what, but hopefully I can qualify, up front and then kind of just ride the bottom line and try to stay out of trouble, but we'll see what happens.
Well,
Get through that, and then we got Darlington, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, Darlington will be fun. Kind of a lot like this track, but a little bit of tire wear and patience.
I love that track.
Yeah. Well, congratulations once again, man. Bringing home another victory. It's always we always expect to talk to you up here in the booth afterwards. But I know you got some people you want to thank before you get out of here.
Yeah, Bully Dog Coffee Company and Patrick with them, and then all my teammates Cliff, Brandon, and Steven. And everybody runs the league, and then you for broadcasting.
All right, brother. Well, have a great rest of the weekend, and I guess I'll see you in about 3 weeks.
All right, buddy.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
All right, let's get Cliff up here. Cliff, you got Chris in the booth. You're right. Damn, I agree with you, brother. So you were, man. I mean, you were my pick to win this thing. After you got to the front, we had some guys up on the YouTube chat calling you out that this was your race to win. But in the end, you're gonna come home in second. But you started back in 10th. So kind of tell us the adventure of the 200 laps at Iowa here from the seat of the 80 car.
Man, it was exciting. I had a poor qualifying run, put myself back there in 10th. I was like, man, it's going to be work. Pretty exciting, though. Racing everybody was pretty hard racing. But I just could not save that right front tire as well as Matt could. And there was times it's like I could gain on him or I could get it. Like there, toward the end, I got in front of him or able to pass him or catch him. I was like, okay, maybe I got something. Then when I would get in front of him, it was like the right front went away. So, I mean, I just did what I could, tried to race him as hard as I could, as clean as I could, and make it hard on him. It was his race to lose. I think he's just naturally fast here, and to make it to second place and racing for the win like that, I'm just glad I could get to that point. But I was hoping I could pull it off, but I just could not save the right front tire as well as he could. I think he finished the race with 10% better right front than I did. So, I guess I'll take another second with this car.
Well, I mean, you've had ever since you put the DRSN logos on it, man. You've been up front about every single week. I'm thinking we're the good luck charm.
Yeah, a 1, a 2, and a 2. So maybe I'll get another 1 in there somewhere.
Well, man, just a fantastic run. It was a fun race to watch. You guys were putting on as I told Matt, you guys were putting on a fantastic show. That first stint was really fun to call and watch. And towards this, before we started getting a kind of a plethora, I'm not sure is the right word, of caution flags coming together there for a little bit. But that last run, I mean, we don't usually get 70 or 80 laps of green flag action like we did here tonight.
Yeah, and I was surprised to get it here too, because practice was maybe it's because the track temp was so hot in practice. It was like 125 degrees. Practice was really, really loose, and I was like, I don't know if we'll get really good quality racing in tonight. But when the green flag dropped, the guys showed up, and it was a great show. I can't wait to watch it back because it was pretty exciting from the car.
Well, hopefully we were exciting enough. It's exciting enough to watch from our point of view because it was. Hopefully we put on a good show because it was fun from here for sure, man. But just a great run. I know I was just talking to Matt too. We got a couple weeks off, then we come back for Daytona. How you feeling about Daytona this time around?
Oh, it's a crapshoot. But me and the Vortex boys, we usually work pretty good together. When it comes to super speedways. But you never know. So I guess we'll just go there, try to work together best we can, and see where we end up. Hopefully, we get Brandon in the chase. We got one more race to get him in. So, and maybe, or hopefully, Steven will show up and we'll have a good old time together.
Yeah, Brendan lost a little bit of ground tonight to Todd. Todd had a good couple spots up in front of him, so it's going to come down to that last race between the two of them. But hey, man, congratulations on another victory, and thanks for carrying the DRSN logos on the race car. But anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yep, the admins, Steven, Zach, Cody, Todd, running the league, Corey running the race control, DRSN, and yourself for doing the broadcast. Put on a great broadcast, and a big shout out to the series sponsor, um, Sunny Creek Designs. They make great trophies. I got one. I'm sitting here, so maybe I got another one coming on the way. Maybe at the end of the season I'll have a third one to go with it. So yeah, just shout out to all them guys.
Well, thank you you know what? I did a horrible job all night long. We sat here for about 2 hours, and I didn't bring up Sunny Creek one time. So thanks for being the one to remember Sunny Creek Designs.
Yep.
Yeah, they definitely got to thank them for everything
Yep.
they've been doing. So,
Yep, we appreciate everything they do for us.
all right, man, have a good rest of the weekend, and we'll talk to you next time, brother.
Yep. All right, you too.
Take care. All right, let's get Jacob up here. Jacob Barker, are you there, buddy? Jacob, you got Chris in the booth. Are you with us?
Yes, sir. I got you.
All right, I got to get you turned up here a little bit. You're a little quiet on my end. All right, hey, podium finish tonight, man. You look good out there. Kind of tell us how the evening went. I'm looking at a chart right now that kind of shows your positions up and down throughout the night. You were down in 10th at one point, but you started come home in 3rd. Kind of tell us how it was for you tonight. Looks a little exciting out there all night long.
Oh, definitely an up and down night, as you said. I never would have picked Iowa to get a first podium in the league, but I feel like it's about damn time to have some good luck. We've been fast every single week, and it just feels like that something has to happen to get snake bitten. Whether it's our fault or not our fault, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's like I said, about time to get a podium. Feels good to have some good luck going, but it was a really, really hectic night. Just trying to stay out of messes, and it was a lot cleaner race than I thought it would be. I thought we were going to have a bit of a Martinsville situation again because of how tricky and slick the track was to begin at the start of the session. But no, it was actually a much cleaner race than I had anticipated. Granted, I had gotten caught up in the one incident with Cliff and Matt at the end of the second stage, which shouldn't have happened because when Matt bounced off the wall, I was next to him. I was about a solid 3 or 4 feet away from his bumper, and I got net coated, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. But like I said, it was a really, really good day for BRR with myself in 3rd and Connor in 4th. Wish Colton had a little better luck. He's been getting on the crap end of the stick recently, unfortunately. But like I said, we've been really, really fast each and every race, and I'm really, really happy about that. And I'm really looking forward to what we can do coming up in the chase. It's a shame that we've got to wait 2 weeks to set the chase field for Daytona, but you know what? It is what it is, and like I said, we're looking to redo what we did at Daytona earlier this year, and hopefully get another BRR win.
Hey, we watched that incident. You got involved in there with Matt, and it just seems like we've seen netcode be more of an issue since one of our last updates here. I've seen it and cover some dirt races, and it's really been bad over there. But it just seems like it's getting worse and worse for some reason. Hopefully, they can figure out a way to get it cleaned up. Because you were a good couple feet away there, but you see, it seems to happen to just about every single race we cover anymore.
Yeah, and it's a shame that stuff like that happens, and it shouldn't happen. And like you said, I've definitely noticed it more since the update. since the season 3 update back in whenever it was June, early June, late June, whenever it was. And it's a shame that these things are happening because you've got guys who can contend for race wins, who are fast each and every week, and something like this happens. It's a shame, like I said, that this is happening, and it shouldn't happen. And tonight was a really, really good example of that. So definitely a few bugs that I think iRacing needs to fix, and I'm sure that they will fix with the season 4 update coming up here in a couple weeks. But yeah, it's something that needs to be addressed and fixed. And like we talked about, I've noticed a lot more people on social media and even within here, complaining about that being an issue. So hopefully they can get that fixed here the next season update before that happens, whenever that does happen. But like I said, really, really good night for us all at BRR, and we're looking forward to next couple races.
Well, congrats on the first podium. You have been, it seems like, on the short end of the stick here a lot. We see you up towards the front, but just not able to get the results. So congratulations on the first podium of the season. We still got a few more races left to go, and you got the points chase coming up. So congratulations, buddy. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to before we get you out of here?
Yeah, definitely. Moza, W Energy Formula, and Turtle Beach Headsets, all the boys with BRR, appreciate all the hard work that they've been putting into this. Like I said, we've been really, really fast. It feels like every race, and we definitely do practice a lot for not only this series, but every series that we do. So I definitely want to give them a special shout out, and I'm really, really proud of them. Yeah, that's definitely want to thank the sponsors again, and like I said, gonna be exciting to set the chase grid here at Daytona here in a couple weeks.
All right, brother. Well, have yourself a great rest of the weekend, and hopefully we get a chance to talk to you up here in the booth a few more times before the season's over with.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You bet, man. All right, Jacob Barker comes home with his first podium of the season in third tonight. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the full results before we get us out of here. So full results for the night. Your winner, Matt Dickerson, brings home another victory on the season. Cliff Adams there in second. Jacob Barker, as we just got done talking to, with his first podium of the year. Connor Fuse with a great finish there in fourth. Zach Steele looked at some really good pace. Pitted there late, comes home in fifth. Wesley Fuse in sixth. Benedict Gringer able to get back on the lead lap in seventh. Justin Kruger eighth. Todd Rush with a top 10 finish. He was up in the top 5 or 6. Ended up falling back to ninth. Mark Osher will come home in 10th. Brendan McHugh 11th. Charlie Bowling, Jesse Singleton, and Colton Gardner all did not finish this race. 12th, 13th, and 14th. Matt Dickerson led the most laps at 80. Hard charge of the race was his Vortex Motorsports teammate of Cliff Adams, up 8 spots. Justin Kruger with the fastest lap of the race. So that is going to finish it off here for our 200 laps of action at Iowa for the Half Decent Racing League. Once again, the winner here tonight, the 44 of Matt Dickerson. Got more action coming your way tomorrow night. We'll be here with the JWR E-Racing Saturday Night Fever Super Speedway Money Series. Do not miss that. That is going to be an exciting one. But we're going to go and get ourselves out of here for the night. So from everybody here at DRSN, thank you so much for spending your time to spend your evening with us. I'm Chris Murphy saying keep it smooth, keep it smart, and if you can't do that, at least keep it entertaining for the folks at home. We're going to see you next time. Good night.